We're back. Hello, everyone. We're about to head into Shula's village, which we just found out is Mysidia.
On evening tides.
Does morning's light return?
Open the gates! The tributary is home!
Haven. Mysidia.
Outsiders? Well, I never. Look at the size of that dog.
All right now, back to your duties. You'll have to forgive my people their curiosity. We don't get many visitors. Or any, truth be told.
Then we are honored to be the first.
This is quite extraordinary. Like stepping into another world.
So do you believe me now?
You've made it difficult not to, my lady. But how did your people chance to settle here in the north? Unless I am much mistaken, the moats of water long called the coasts of southern Ash their home. Until Drake's Horn fell and the Blight forced them ever inland, where...
We met our doom, along with our dominant. I see you've read the Gregorian Church's account, but perhaps you'd like to hear ours. That building over there is the Witten Hall. It's where my people gather to discuss matters of import. We can speak more inside, once the place is ready to receive you. It shouldn't take long, but you're welcome to explore the village while I see to things.
Thank you.
Hector, do you
We'll
like
do
to
just
explore
that.
villages? Alright, we have arrived. So, as you can see, there's a place literally called Minwu's Cup. There's the store and the foundry. Villages in the city. Or, just, villages in the countryside. Do you ever go to the countryside?
Look, that one's got a black ear.
Intruders! We must flee!
Oh, do you think he bites?
Oh. A saying goes to random villagers just to beat up their toughest teenagers.
So what do you think of our little haven in the woods? It might not have all the comforts of a southern settlement, but at least it's ours.
And there's a lot to be said for that. It can't have been easy keeping this place a secret.
Not easy, no. We've dedicated our lives to maintaining the glamour that conceals us. Us and Walyas.
This man, Walyas, is he Leviathan's dominant?
That's right. Though he's no man, Walyas is still a baby.
A baby?
Forgive me, but you said that the Dominant and his icon were bound inside the Surge almost a century ago. That would surely make him older still.
It would, if he'd been allowed to age. But the spell robbed the poor bairn of even that.
I'm sorry.
Walyas was the son of my great-grandfather. Leviathan awoke within him almost immediately. But instead of allowing the lad to live out his life as a valued member of the community, my ancestors sought to put his power to other uses. Sadly for them, the Icons sensed their treachery and summoned a wave so large it would have swallowed the entire village if my ancestors hadn't stopped him.
Then it is not the surge that binds the child, but time itself.
Yes.
Forgive me. I'm still not sure I understand.
I'm not surprised. It isn't the easiest thing to explain. Which is why it might be better if I took you to see him. Show you exactly what he has to endure.
That is why we came.
Then let us be off. There's a road that leads north from the village. It'll take us right into the surge.
Vector, do you wish you were frozen in time?
Are you bound for the wave, tributary?
We are, Delina. Have you spread the word about our guests?
I have. Everyone knows to treat them as family.
You shouldn't have any trouble now, but just in case, I would have you accept this symbol of our people.
The Ceaseless Rill.
That's very kind. I look forward to meeting the family.
The feeling's mutual.
Should the tributary be indisposed, feel free to ask me any questions you might have regarding the village, and I'll do my best to answer.
I don't remember now.
Thank you. We will.
Then I bid you good tide.
Our storehouse lies across the bridge. If you're short of supplies, you may find what you need there. Though we will have to ask you for recompense, poor as we are.
My lord,
Ask about Delina.
my name is Delina.
And I serve as adjutant to Lady Shula, tributary of Miss Basidia. While other adjutants who came before me played the role of guardian as well as aide, Lady Shula is an able warrior in her own right and requires no protection. So I assist her in ministering to our people's affairs while she is absent or indisposed.
By way of example,
It was I who informed the rest of our village of your coming, at the tributary's request. If there is aught you wish to know of our people or village, please do not hesitate to ask. Ask about the village.
as I'm sure you're aware,
This land was once the domain of the Northern Thanes, though the settlement had lain abandoned for some time when our ancestors' wanderings finally brought them here. Remote as it was, it seemed to them an ideal place to settle, and they duly cast the glamour over it, that their new home might remain
the
hidden.
secret of the spell itself.
Had been passed down from generation to generation since the time we left Ash. We used it to disguise our camps, with the custodians of the land through which we wandered should not learn of our trespass. It was these temporary enchantments which led our ancestors to contemplate a more permanent solution upon
So
arriving
they
here.
built the cairns.
Filled it with the shards of the crystal of the tribe, could spare, and summoned forth a glamour large enough to cover the entire land. And for many days and nights thereafter, their bearers labored to attune the spell, but that the outside world might see this place slowly succumb to the blight.
And thus we hid ourselves away.
Welcoming none into our private haven, until you, that is. At first, the spell only worked one way. It was only after the skies changed that we conjured a second illusion for the benefit of those inside. It was Lady Shula's idea, a salve for the nerves of those who feared the roiling storm clouds were a harbinger of the end. It prays that it brings you a little relief from the darkness of the world beyond the wall, as it has done us.
Our story began.
On the narrow coasts of southern Ash, where, for want of arable land, we relied on the mountains' rains to quench our thirst and the bounty of the sea to fill our bellies. And thus did we learn the value of water.
After the fall of Drake's Horn,
We spent decades in exile, drifting across the deserts and snowfields of the Twins, till at last we arrived here in Mysidia, our second true home. Here we found mountains, rivers, and seas not unlike those of our first home in Ash. All that we lacked was crystal. We have no mother crystal of our own here, nor have we ever received any stipend from our neighbors. Were it not for the few shards we had been able to stockpile during our wanderings in storm, we might never have even survived the first few winters, let alone cast the glamour that protects us. For to demand that the bearers among us sacrifice their lives for the benefit of the others was never an option. The hardships we had faced on our journey had brought us together, and we would not be divided again. Thankfully, our unity proved our strength. And so here we have stayed, dependent only upon the blessings which this land provides us. The springs, the rivers, the seas, these are all we of the moats of water need. There you go.
I bid you
We
good
learned.
tide.
The poor things are as big.
Oh,
Sid!
right, there are quests here now. Okay, hang on. Let's pick up some quests.
You are Sid, aren't you? The man the tributary told us about? I wonder if you could help me.
With what exactly?
Oh, nothing too troublesome. Do you know my husband, Pavat? He's the village smith, among other things. Anyway, his name day's not far off, and I wanted to make a gift for him. He's a craftsman, you see, and he's been fretting about running low on the flowers he uses for dye making, so I wondered if you might collect some for me and give them to him.
Would this gift not be better coming from you?
Perhaps, but it can't, for reasons I can't go into. Please, I know it sounds daft, but I'd be ever so grateful.
Oh, alright.
Fine. Which flowers does your husband need?
The sweet little blue ones that grow around the fount. Elder's blessings, they're called. We use them to dye our fabrics so we always feel close to water like they are. You don't need to go to the trouble of picking them yourself, though. Just speak to the field hands and ask them to share their harvest with you. 2 basketfuls should be enough for my husband to be getting on with.
2 basketfuls it is.
Lovely. Well, let's grab this woman her 2 baskets full of flowers.
Excuse me. I wonder, might you be able to spare a basket of Elder's blessings? Pavart's wife tasked me with collecting some for her husband, and suggested that I speak to you.
Ah. Werda wants you to bless her better half with the fruits of our labour, does she? Go on then. Give the old fool something to squirm about.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't worry about it. An old fool Pavart may be, but if you come bearing gifts, he's not fool enough to turn you away.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
What are they getting me into?
Ah, welcome to Haven, friend.
Thank you. Forgive my presumptuousness, but the smith's wife has asked me to make her husband a present of some Elder's blessings. 2 basketfuls, to be precise.
Well, I have 1, if that's any help.
It is. I'm much obliged. They really are beautiful.
Aren't they just? Though that's not the only reason they have a special place in our hearts. Legend has it that when our people fled from Ash, the tributary of the time took some seeds with them. And as they wandered high and low across the Twins, he'd plant them wherever they stopped for water. Every elder since has done the same. So when we finally put down roots here in Mysidia, the flowers did too.
Well, that's a nice story.
Well, that's 2 basketfuls. Time to visit Pavat.
Alright, let's warp over to Pavat, who's literally just across the river. Thank you, Pavat.
What do you want?
Your wife asked me to bring you these flowers.
The Elder's blessings that grow by the water's edge yield a lasting blue dye with which the motes of water are wont to stain their fabrics. This much is known. Quite why Werda, the wife of Haven's leading artist in Bavat, needs Clive's assistance in restocking her husband's supply of flowers remains a mystery.
That woman. Come out. I know you're there.
Who? Me?
Would either of you care to explain what's going on?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you. It's just, my husband can be a bit standoffish at times, and I thought this might be a good way for the two of you to get acquainted. What with you being a swordsman like, and him being the only smith in the village. It'd be a shame if you couldn't turn to him for help.
The only reason he couldn't turn to me for help is because I had my hands full with all the orders you lot dumped on me. I'm pretty much done with them now, though. But, for the record, the tributary said that we were to lend you outsiders our aid, and that's exactly what I was planning to do. With or without my darling wife's meddling. Still, here we are. Acquainted. So, if there's out you need, just bring us the materials, all right?
All right.
All right, then. And tar for the flowers. I was running low.
You use them for dyeing, I hear.
Aye. Crush the petals and it makes a fine and lasting blue. We use it to stain the cloth for our tunics and pennons. Remind us where we come from, like.
As modes of water. Children of the sea.
That's right. The pattern too was left by our ancestors. The Ceaseless Rill, it's called. It symbolizes the river of our tribe, with the strength of Leviathan running through it. And no matter how that river has ebbed and flowed, changed its course, the flowers have always been with us, growing on our banks. I should get back to work. If you need something crafting, let me know.
Oh, well. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Wasn't it just?
Ah, shit. It's very close to the Blitzball sign. Alright, so for that we just basically get access to the blacksmith and a couple EXP. Oh, we get Reflection of Earth, Titanic Block. Residual, okay. Enhances Titan's iconic feat, Titan Block, making it capable to block attacks from behind while restoring a small amount of HP regain gauge. Normally I would equip that, but no. I like the bits that we have on. Actually, no, I could probably do it. One of the bits isn't as important. Maybe, actually. It does make my limit break stronger, I think. Hang on. Yeah, never mind. We're gonna keep doing that. Yeah, he can't make anything new for me.
Oh, I'll have her hide when she gets back. Oh, sorry. I was leagues away. How can I help you? If you're after something from the storehouse, it's actually my wife you'll want to talk to. She will have to charge you for the goods, though. Not that would fleece you or anything. It's just, you know, needs must.
I understand.
Saying that, she might not be able to get anything down for you for a bit.
Ah, right.
She's got her hands full with the inventory, you see. It should have been my daughter's job, really, but the willful little Rills decided to make herself scarce. Ah, the heavens only know where that girl's got to.
If you'd like me to keep an eye out for her.
Oh, no. I couldn't ask that of an outsider. Could I? You wouldn't mind?
Of course not. She won't have gone far, will she?
I hope not. But I've scoured the entire village for her and come up empty-handed. Can't help thinking she might have gone on another one of her little adventures.
Ah, a free spirit is she?
Aye, that she is. Can't get her to sit still. Especially once you heard you lot were on your way. Outsiders! You should have seen her little eyes light up. No, if she wanted to watch you arrive, she'd have made for the low gate where you first came in. The guard there might have spotted her. Maybe you could ask him. Ruka, her name is.
All right. I'll let you know if I find her. Try not to worry.
Alright. I think this quest unlocks the shop. So, that's basically what we're doing, is unlocking the shop and unlocking the blacksmith.
Hear me, mine ancestors.
10 gauge, hello.
Excuse me. You haven't seen the storekeeper's daughter, have you?
Little Ruka? I have, as it happens. She went out through the gate not long ago.
Out of the village? Alone?
Aye, she does it all the time. There's a path off to the left which leads down to the river. Nice little spot, that. And safe as you like. The beasts of the mountain don't dare come so close to the village. That's where she'll be. Go and have a look if you don't believe me.
I will. This must be the path.
Looks like the path. Hey there.
They're not here either. It's you! I've been looking everywhere for you.
You must be Ruka.
You know my name? Can you lot read minds?
Your father asked me to keep an eye out for you. You left without telling him where you were going. He was worried.
But I went to look for you.
Well, now you found me. What do you say we head back to the village and let your father know you're safe?
All right. And on the way home, you can tell me all about the world beyond the wall. I want to know everything.
Everything might be a stretch.
Thank
We've
you
returned.
for bringing her home. And sorry for the trouble.
Oh, no. It was a pleasure.
Daddy, did you know that there are villages 10 times as big as Haven in the outside world? 10 times! Cities, they call them. And in these cities, they have great big walls and towers and castles.
Oh, to think I was worried. You can tell me all about the outside world later, Sweet Pea. Now go and help your mum with the stores.
All right.
Thanks for putting up with her questions. She, has a lot of them. One of the big ones being, what are the people beyond the wall like? Reckon you've made a good first impression.
Are we the only one she's ever met?
That you are. The rest of the world can't know we're here, so we'll have to be very careful who we're letting in and out. A few of us might make the occasional trip to shore for supplies, but for the most part, we'll make do with what we've got, including what the old Northerners left us.
Yes. You built on top of the old ruins, didn't you?
Well, they make for fine foundations. Their masons clearly knew what they were doing. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Oh, it's everything else that's the problem. Medicines, metals for tool making, anything like that. We have to dress up as traveling merchants and make a trip to the outside and pray to every cloud in the heavens that nobody sees through us.
Which explains why you need Gil.
Aye. And now Ruka's back, my wife should be free to assist you with any potential purchases. So please, do make good use of our stores, because we fully intend to make good use of your coin.
I'll be sure to keep my purse strings loose.
Fortunately, that quest went on much longer than I thought it was going to. Anyway, hi, Tengage. I'm doing pretty good. A little annoyed. Hang on. Rendered from the fat boar or bison. From the fat of boar or bison. In the case of Mysidia, chocobo or ibex. Tallow is widely used in the manufacture of foul-smelling candles and oily soaps. Blacksmiths have also been known to employ them in substances in the final stages of polishing steel. In the particular sample appears to have been affected by a surfeit of ether, which somehow slowed its degradation process, allowing it to maintain both its vibrancy and viscosity, despite having been left untouched for several decades. Anyway, I'm a little annoyed. I woke up to my building superintendent messaging me, telling me that there's an emanation of cat litter, and he thinks it's from my apartment, and I thought I did a pretty good job making sure Mira's
I don't grudge her looking for adventure,
litter
but
was
she's got to
taken
put
care
away
of,
like
but
the rest of us. Anyway, now we've got the inventory done, I can attend to my own tasks, like seeing to our visitors' needs. So, what's the route you wanted? This is all we have.
So, the Minwu waistcloth is better than the Fallen belt we just got from Echoes of the Fallen. It is suspected that the dye made from flowers known as Elder's Blessings, grown in Mysidia, not only give the motes of water's clothing its vibrant blue hue, but that ethereal residue attributed to an ancient spell cast upon the land somehow increases the dye's permanence, which in turn renders the cloth applied thereto more resistant to both damage from external forces and natural degradation. A heart, while a fine place for fancy, is nowhere to hide your purse. Okay, well, I don't worry, let's get what we're doing. Upon their 16th name day, every mote of water is filled with a hand-carved wooden torque that they will keep for the rest of their lives, a vestige of their tribe's long years of wanderings followed by following the fall of Drake's Horn, in which the loss of members was commonplace. The ring represents a singular bond between the motes that transcends both physical and spiritual distance. Know that even should you walk abyss, our hands will guide you home.
Well, if you're sure you need it, here you are.
Alright. So, I don't suppose that you can upgrade my belt.
I reckon my steel's just as good as any.
No, you cannot upgrade my belt or my bracelet. Anyway, other than that, I'm good. I just went and spent a bunch of money to make sure that it isn't my apartment. I don't think it is, because I smell it in the hallway too, and if it was my cat, I wouldn't be able to smell it most likely, because I'd be like fucking immune to it in a way. Like, you know how if you're around a scent constantly, your brain kind of filters that scent out. And yeah. So, but in the off chance that it is, I got a bunch of stuff, and hopefully that'll help. Either way, we're gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna head out to meet Wallace. Don't go anywhere.